Today we're adding a utility sink to this basement storage area right under this egress window. And someone is bound to ask, are you allowed to do that? The answer is, as long as you can still access the window in an emergency, yes you can. So here's what we're working with. We've got a clean out pipe kind of in the middle of the floor that we're not moving or messing with, and the homeowner still wants a sink right here. We're going to tie into the existing drain system, run new supply lines from the ceiling, and install a standard utility sink setup. So step one is to assemble the sink and kind of mock it up in the space to see where we're going to put it. So what we have here is a 4-inch clean out. It's kind of in a weird place. It's kind of out in the middle of the floor, but I didn't do it, so it's not anything that I can really change at this point without digging up the floor and moving it, which I'm not going to do. See this cap right here? This is just, if you get a plug in your drain line, something like that, this is an area where you can access that with an auger and kind of clean out that pipe. So our plan is to take off this cap. When you take this cap off, you are going to get some sewer gas smells coming back up because there's nothing to trap this gas. So just be prepared for that. But what we are going to do is we are going to transition this 4-inch ABS into a 4-inch PVC. We're going to keep the clean out aspect. I don't want to get rid of the clean out. So what I have here is a different type of clean out. So I'm going to elevate the clean out on top of this, and then we're going to run a new drain line kind of out this way. Yes, it's kind of a trip hazard. It's not going to be perfect, but I give the homeowner options and they tell me what they want to do. And this is what they chose to do. What I need to do is figure out the height. I might have to extend this up a little bit so that we can get our drain lines to run correctly. And then we want our drain line to slope into this, what's called a plumbing Y. When it comes to residential plumbing, there are typically two types of piping for drain lines specifically, not for supply lines. This is called ABS. This is called PVC. People are familiar with PVC. Sometimes they use the terms interchangeably. They're not the same. ABS is a stronger plastic, and it's typically used for trunk lines, for drainage in the ground. You'll find it a lot for wastewater. It does better in colder climates. Now, PVC, on the other hand, you'll find a lot inside your walls, maybe for laundry rooms, showers, drain assemblies, things like that. The difference between the two is when you are using them, you need to have the right glue, okay? So when you're working with ABS, you need to make sure that you're using ABS glue. Okay, ABS glue is a single stage glue. You only need to use the glue itself. You don't need anything else. PVC, on the other hand, is a 2-stage. PVC, you need to use both a primer and a glue. So you're familiar probably with purple primer, or sometimes they're different colors, but a primer, which you put on the pipe first, and then a glue, which you put on second. Now, a lot of times you'll have a PVC line that then empties into an ABS line. And how does that work? So when you're connecting PVC and ABS, they're two different types of plastic. So the glues chemically are different. Now, when you need to connect to, obviously these are two different sizes. We're not gluing these directly together. But where it comes to connecting this and this, you need to use what's called a transition glue. Now, so this is ABS to PVC green transition cement is the formal name of it. This is from a company called Odie. There's other brands that make it as well. So you can use this, or you use what's called a Fernco coupling. A Fernco is like a rubber coupling. You'll see them at Home Depot or something. A rubber coupling that has pipe clamps on it that you tighten down. So you would have a transition from black to white, and there would be a rubber piece in between. And as far as what pipe is used for which application, it depends on your climate, it depends on your local codes. So sometimes you might find ABS also in walls, sometimes you'll find PVC. So it just kind of depends on where you live and what the codes are. But as far as if you're doing your own work, just make sure that you're using the right glue for the right application. So what I need to do is determine what our height needs to be here so that our pipes line up this way. It looks like this needs to come up a little bit. I have two options. I can extend the P-trap down so that it sits a little bit lower and then slopes this way, or I raise this plumbing Y, this 4-inch Y, I raise that up. Just because I have to raise it up minimally, I think the answer is to lower the P-trap a little bit and leave this so that it can connect directly here. When it comes to plumbing like this, I always like to dry fit it first, kind of assemble it, dry fit it as much as possible without any glue or any adhesives. You know that you're roughly where you want to be, and then you can go back and glue everything together. You don't want to glue it together and then find out something's off a little bit, and then all of a sudden you got to cut it, hodgepodge some new piece in. Never works out well. So try to do as much dry assembly as you can first, and then after that, then you can glue everything together. Next, I'm pulling off this clean out cap and can start gluing things up. I want to work quickly here because once I pull off this cap, I basically have a wide open poop pipe, so I don't want a bunch of sewer gas coming up and choking me out. I did open the window for a little added ventilation while I'm doing this, and I'm using that green transition cement I talked about before to get the plumbing Y installed. From there, I shift to the 2-stage PVC glue to get the new clean out plug glued in and the rest of the fittings that need to be glued. Because we're tapping into this clean out and we don't have an easily accessible vent or a simple way to add one, we need to add one more thing to this drain assembly, and that is called an air admittance valve. An AAV is a one-way valve that allows air into the pipe to prevent a vacuum from forming that could cause slow draining and siphon water from the P-trap and allow sewer gas to come up. So now the drain assembly portion of it is complete. People are going to give me crap about it, but this is just how it has to be done. This is a utility room, and this is where they wanted the sink, and so that's how it's going to be. Now we got to work on the supply side of things. So the next thing I'm doing is installing the fixture that came with the utility sink, and then I can start running the water lines across the ceiling. I'm using PEX for this, and some people will have strong opinions about it and say that it should be done in copper, but right now, 1/2-inch copper is literally 10 times the price of the equivalent length of pipe in PEX, so it just doesn't make sense financially to use for this application. PEX is fully adequate and is faster and cheaper for this project. Now, where I do use copper in this project is for connection points, which includes where the water lines will connect for the sink. These copper pieces are called stub outs, and I always like to use copper for areas where you need that rigidity to keep things from moving around. I added some wooden blocks that I drilled into the foundation wall and then can securely mount the stub outs to that wood. Next, I'm cutting back the stub outs so I can add shutoff valves for the water lines. These are called compression style valves in that they have 3 pieces. They have a nut that goes on first, a brass ring called a ferrule that goes on second, and then the valve body itself. When you tighten the nut, it compresses the ferrule between the nut and valve body and creates a watertight connection. Another area where I use copper is the connection point where I am transitioning from the existing copper to PEX. The area of the lines I'm going to be tapping into are 3/4 inch, and I'm going to be transitioning to 1/2-inch PEX, so I need to solder a 3/4 copper T with a 1/2-inch outlet on it to a 1/2-inch piece of copper that I am then soldering a copper PEX adapter to. When soldering, I always try to do as much of it as possible outside and always have a fire extinguisher on hand anytime I have to solder inside. Now, everything I've done up to this point, I have done with the water on for the house. However, the last step requires me turning off the water so that I can plumb the new PEX lines into the existing water lines, and then opening the lowest fixture I can find in the house. This means all the water in the lines above will drain down and out, and while I wait for that to happen, I can take the opportunity to clean up my mess. Once all the water is drained from the lines, then I can cut out a section of the existing lines and sweat in the new T that I previously built outside. One thing to note is that I ran the hot water for a little while before shutting it off so I could determine which copper line was the hot and which was the cold. As you can imagine, the hot was hot to the touch after it ran for a minute or two. Anytime you're soldering inside, you have to be extremely careful not to start a fire, so you have to focus exactly where you're concentrating your flame, and again, always have a fire extinguisher nearby just in case. And once those new connections cooled, then I could attach the new PEX lines and pressure test the lines to make sure there were no leaks. Lastly, I added the water lines from the new shutoff valves to the sink, and then just tested everything to make sure it was watertight and everything worked as it should. So that's how you install a utility sink. I hope you enjoyed this project, and most importantly, I hope you learned something. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one.